Don't drop marks on PMCC hypothesis testing. Medical student believes that in adults there is a negative correlation between the amount of nicotine in their bloodstream and their energy level. Student collected data from a random sample of 50 adults. The correlation coefficient between the amount of nicotine in the bloodstream and the energy level was negative 0.45. Carry out a hypothesis test at the 2.5% significance level to determine if this sample provides evidence to support the student's belief. For n is 50, the critical value for a one-tailed test at 2.5% is 0.2787. This is an AQA question. Just a note for Edexcel students, you would need to use the back of your formula book to find this critical value. Now, to carry out the hypothesis test, we always start by writing our hypotheses. So in this case, H0 will be rho equals 0. That's always the same H0 for any PMCC hypothesis test. H1, alternative hypothesis, depends on the question, but in this case, we're investigating a potential negative correlation. So let's say rho is less than 0. At this point, I like to draw a number line that goes from -1 to 1, 0 in the middle, and that's going to represent our potential correlation coefficients. I then take my critical value, 0.2787, and I put that on the number line along with its negative version. Then I note to myself that anything in these regions would be considered extreme or significant enough to reject the null hypothesis, whereas anything in the middle would not be enough to reject. Now we can see where our observed value lies on that number line. Negative 0.45 is here in the orange extreme region. So we can say negative 0.45 is less than negative 0.2787. This is significant, means we can reject H0. And then we write our conclusion statement, always in the context of the question. In this case, we could say something like sufficient evidence to support the student's belief that in adults there is a negative correlation between the amount of nicotine in their bloodstream and their energy level. Note that for that conclusion statement, I basically just copied the wording of what was in the original question. I'd recommend that you do the same.